We always have enough in our possession to be anything that God has called us to be. It might look small in our eyes. To David, it was just a slingshot and 5 stones. To the widow, it was just a little flour and a little oil. But we serve a God who is the master of multiplication. And when we believe that He has always from the beginning of time used the small things to do mighty things, then we will know that whatever we have in our possession is enough to live a life that He has called us for. Do not go away. Enjoy the message, Enough in Your Possession. God has put within us, in our possession, everything that we need to become the best versions of ourselves, to realize our calling and our purpose, and mostly even to fight the adversities of this life. But most of the time, when we face the storms of life, we think, I can't do this. Why would God call me to such a hard battle? But that He said in His word that He will not allow us to be afflicted beyond our ability to withstand. And with the temptation, He even makes a way. But it's not only you and me. There are times in my life when I thought it can't be, when I thought even life is not worth a living. But it is always within us. He gives us the strength to enjoy. He gives us the wisdom to escape. He always makes a way out in our afflictions. During times of crisis, it's easier to throw in and speak negative. We forget that there is power in our mouth. He said that both the power of life and death is in your mouth. There are times when even the most people that we think have faith, even the most prayerful people, there are times when trials are on their side, they lose their faith. Even the most strongest people that we know, that we always run to, there are times when they need faith for themselves, they can't find it. And that is when we need to then go back to the word of the Lord, strengthen ourselves. The word says that David strengthened himself in the Lord. He is a faithful God. He will not allow us to be taken down. And that is all for His name's sake, for the honor of His name, because He said He has exalted His word above His name. And when He has said that He's on our side and the battle is His, not ours, then so shall it be. He has put it all in us, to search within us. It's in our possession to search for that faith. He has given us faith. He said that when He called the disciples, He gave them power. It's within us. It's in our possession. We have that power within us to face and to conquer every mountain on our way. The word is alive, sharper than a double-edged sword. It's in our possession. He said that the word became flesh. It means that everything that He has said in the word is possible in our own lives. It's in the book of John, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us. If He said we are conquerors, then we are conquerors. It's in our possession. If He said we are heads and not tails, then so shall we be. We are not going to be followers. We are not going to be the people who are always last, because He makes sure that He performs His words. And it's in our possession to reach for that power, to reach for that faith. The best way to deal with crisis and life unexpected twists, it's always to turn back to basics. What is it that I have within me? What is it that the Lord has given me naturally, or anything that I can draw into to face the adversities that I'm facing at this moment? The Lord always uses what is in our hands to either save us or to provide for us. It's always in our possession. All that we need to attain our dreams, to fight our battles in life, it's always in our possession. Let us look at the widow with Elijah. When the enemies or the debt collectors came and say, then we are going to take your sons to be slaves. Elijah asks the widow, what do you have? And the widow just says, just like me and you, I've got nothing. It's just a little bit of oil and flour. And that was enough to change the entire story. And Elijah says to the widow, okay, go and borrow even more jars. The widow was able to eat and even sell some of the oil and the flour to pay back the debtors. And her life was saved. God will always use what we think is too little. God will always use the overlooked to provide for us and to save us. David in front of Goliath, to a point where David said, Are you guys serious? Is this the man who's going to bring me down today? And the Lord said to David, what do you have? It was just a slingshot. Everything that we need to take life forward, whether to prosper, to live into our full potential, or to bring down our enemies along the way, it's always something in our possession. David had a slingshot and just 5 stones. And just 1 stone was enough to bring down the Goliath. Moses had a staff. It looked like it's something so little, but we can read throughout the book of Exodus that Moses' stick parted the Red Sea. For some point when there was no water, the Lord said, hit the rock, and then there was water. It is always the things that we overlook. It is always the people that we overlook. It is always the situations that we overlook that the Lord uses to change the trajectory of our lives, to change destinies around. Let us go to the book of 1 Corinthians 1:27. Instead, God has chosen the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. He has chosen the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Usually we think we need some big events, some more money, bigger connections in order for us to prosper, in order for doors to be open, in order for us to go to the next level. But it is in these events that we overlook. David thought he was just taking lunch to the brothers, but he was actually fetching legacy. We don't even know at which step God does it. He says that the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. It is in ordinary days that God performs the extraordinary things of our lives, because everything that God is ever going to use, it's in our close proximity. It's in our possession. He uses the small things. It was just the oil and the flour. It was just the shepherd's bag. It was just the staff for Moses. It was just the small things, the small incident. David thought that, oh, my father said I must just go and bring lunch, take lunch to my brothers. But that was the change. That was the beginning of the bigger things in his life. That is how the Lord works. Always the small things, the overlooked. That's how he turns the trajectory of our lives and introduce to us the next big step, the next big project. Even our life partners, we meet them in ordinary days when we thought, I'm just going to the shops, I'm just doing the ordinary. The Lord does not use thunder and storms to perform most of the miracles in our lives. It is always in the small things. It is always in digging deep in ourselves. What do I have to start that business? What do I have? What can I do? When we dig a little bit deeper and we look around us, we realize that it is always in our possession. We do not need another connection. We do not need more money. But maybe we need another dose of anointing. Maybe we need to dig deep in prayer. Maybe we need to seek him more. He says he has the keys. He is the only person who can open doors that no man cannot open. The book of Ephesians 1:18, as I close, says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, so that you will know what is the hope of his calling, what are the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. Paul says that I pray that the eyes of your heart are enlightened. Because when we are enlightened, we start to look around and see that everything that we need is just around us. That everything that the Lord can ever use to change destinies, to introduce us to the next level, is always around us. And he's saying that I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened. I pray that at this moment, our eyes are enlightened, to always look around in times of trials, to always look around when we are in need and see that everything is in our possession. It might look small, it might look just like a little bit of oil and flour, but he's the master of multiplication. Stay blessed. We do not need some miraculous events and moments for God to uplift and elevate us to the next level. Paul says that I pray that the eyes of your understanding might be enlightened. It's in seeking him more. It's in digging deep into prayer where we realize that We have enough in our possession to be the best versions of ourselves. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. It's Triumph TV, your home of inspiration and spiritual upliftment. Let's meet again in this same platform. I am Triumph Mbiva. Stay blessed.